guys, welcome back to our channel. This video, I'm gonna be learning how to paint a car. Right here we have our rebuilder that needs the whole front clip repainted, and my dad, who's an auto body mechanic, is actually gonna be teaching me how to paint a car. But first, we gotta wash this thing because we just trailered it from home to our shop and it is absolutely filthy. So let's go quickly give it a clean. Alright guys, we got the car all washed up and it's looking really nice, much better than it was, and it's drying, ready to go in the paint booth. First, take a look at what we got in the shop here. We got a really cool car back here. It's a 1973 Dodge Challenger, super cool, really nice bright orange, and we're going to be doing a full paint job on that. But I say let's quickly get this Mazda in the paint booth and get it going. So let's get to it. Alright guys, we are ready to get painting, but there is actually one more step we gotta do before we start. And what is that, Dad?
Well, we gotta mask off all the areas that we don't want to have paint on. So that would be everything on the front here, obviously, right? And all on the tires, on the windshield. And then the rest of it, we could just cover it with plastic.
Okay,
so,
and then we're also gonna be using some different size papers. We got a little stand here.
And two different widths of tape. We got the narrow and the wider tape.
And then we can show you guys some different techniques of how to tape as we do it. But I think let's get to taping and get this thing masked up.
Okay. I don't want this to be closed off right here.
Yeah.
So the paint wraps around the corner.
Oh yeah, clean. Alright guys, we got this whole thing all masked up and it's wiped and tacked down, which means all the contaminants and grease and all the dust should be off of it and it's ready for paint. And we also got the bumper cover in here because we're actually going to be painting that at the same time. But before we put color on, we actually have to put a different layer on, right Dad?
Yeah, we have to put a sealer down. Sealer helps for adhesion so that the paint sticks to the panel.
Right.
And also because, like, look at the hood, it's so black and dark.
Yeah, black can seep through the paint possibly.
Yeah, for making it easier for color matching, we're going to put down a white sealer.
So it gives you a white background for the color to go on too, and the color is also white. And then hopefully the more white will kind of balance out for
That's right.
the other colors. But first, let's get that sealer on.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we are ready. My dad's got his paint gun all dialed in, as you can see, to the right air pressure. So my dad's painted a ton of cars before, right? And you've got lots of experience. You're going to be basically teaching me and the audience the basics of how to paint.
Okay, starting with a paint gun, we're dealing with the HVLP gun, high volume, low pressure. There's 2 steps to the trigger. So if you pull the trigger, the first step, all you get is just air. And then once you pull it past that point, then you get to paint. You have to understand that all the time as you're using it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not on or off. It's like half on and all the way on, right? What you don't want to do when you're painting is start from a standing stop, right?
Yeah.
The paint gun should be in motion already. And as you're moving, then you pull the trigger to pull the paint on so that you don't have like a hard line. When we're doing a bumper cover, it's kind of harder to explain that because there's so many little corners and edges and stuff. But as you'll see, that's kind of what I'll be doing. First thing you got to remember that your distance to the panel is very important. The early days you used to use your hand, right? But if your hand is really big, that didn't work, right?
Yeah.
So it should be about 5 to 6 inches away, depending on each gun. But HVLP gun, you're actually supposed to be a little bit closer than the traditional one. And then the other thing is, you should always be straight to the panel.
Yeah, right. Perpendicular.
Never have the gun tipped or angled. So if you're angled away, the paint is not landing on the panel straight.
Right.
So in the case of this bumper cover, the gun is going to be curving with the shape of the bumper. So if it's under area like this, then the gun has to be like that too. So that's kind of what we'll be doing. Okay, so should we give it a try?
Yeah, let's give it a try. Alright guys, my dad just finished the bumper and he's gonna now show me how to do the hood.
Yeah, when we're doing a panel like this, I like starting in the middle of the hood and work my way this way and then working that way because we're in a cross flow paint booth. Make sure you do one pass, don't stop, keep the gun moving, and make sure that your pattern overlapped by 50%. So you want to give it a try?
Sure. Alright guys, we are done the sealer, and that was my first time basically painting anything, but now we're gonna go on to color.
Yeah, this is a tri-coat they call it, so there's actually 3 layers. The ground coat is what we just sprayed,
Yeah.
the sealer, but then a color would have 1 color coat and then a clear coat.
Oh, yeah.
But this is a pearl, 2 colors that go on. So
Wow.
1 color is the base color, and then the other ones they call that a pearl coat.
Yeah, it's pretty fancy paint actually.
Yeah, you can actually see the difference when the light shines on it.
Okay,
Yeah, that has a kind of a cool effect, eh?
Yeah, well let's mix up some color. A little bit of yellow in there.
Yeah.
Alright guys, we got the color in the gun and it's hooked up, and I'm just gonna see if I can put some color on this bumper right here. So let's give it a try. You can touch it up. Alright guys, we are mixing up the second color here. The second part's actually more clear and is kind of what has all the sparkles in it and all the fancy stuff. Yeah, so there's already a bunch of stuff in there. Kind of looks funky, but once it lays down, I'm sure it's gonna do what it's supposed to.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Alright guys, my dad painted on all the color. We got all the different color layers on, and now it's looking nice. But now it's time to put the final layer on, which is going to be a clear coat, which my dad is mixing up right now. This gives you the final shine and protection against sun, so the color doesn't fade, and it makes it look super good. So we're going to mix that up, spray that on, and then it should be done. Alright guys, we just finished all the clear coats, which means this paint job is complete. We got the bumper right here and it is looking so good. Take a look over here on the actual car. I have a full spectrum light right here, which will actually show you what the sun would actually do and affect this paint. Look at all the pearl and all the sparkles in there. It actually it looks amazing. It looks really cool, and I'm actually pretty happy with this paint job, and I think you are too, right?
Yeah, it turned out pretty good. It was a learning experience for you. It's
For sure.
It's first time for for everybody, right?
I learned that you have to kind of take your time on some things and also go a lot faster on some things, like the sealer. For example, I put that on a little too thick in some areas, but it's all about learning, and yeah, you got to do a lot of practice basically.
That's right, and that's with anything, right? You'll get better with practice, and
sure.
I'm thinking that sometime in the future, there'll probably be more chances for you to practice as well,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That would be awesome. And yeah, painting a car is kind of like an art on its own. I respect you for how good you can do it. I hope you guys also learned a lot about how to paint a car. That's going to be about it for this video. So subscribe, stay notified for next videos we do, and I'll see you guys then. See ya.
Just say that you're happy the way it turned out.
Yeah. And I'm at, yeah. Where do I go from?